Fight on!
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve, and you're back with me in the apartment. Now, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Mortal Kombat Arcade. A big request for this. It's going to be part 1, which is the pickup, so you know the format by now. Now, obviously, there's nothing behind me. You might be asking, where the hell is the arcade, Steve? Things done changed in the new year. I did not sell them. Don't worry. I wanted to get a different look at the apartment, make a little more room for my wife and I because it was getting a little crowded, and overall just make the apartment more appealing. So what I've been doing is I pretty much moved all of the arcade machines I have, not Mortal Kombat 2 or the Street Fighter 1 that's still in my parents' garage. The Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Miss Pac-Man, excuse me, and Double Dragon, and moved to the spare bedroom. Now, it just makes for an overall better feel, more space in the apartment. So let me take you through what we've done and what it looks like now, and we'll get into the part 1 and we'll set that up. So let's take you with me. So as you can see, so we're going down the actual hallway, and getting especially Mortal Kombat, getting the arcades down here were tough, especially in this little narrow corridor. What I had to do is, this apartment is old. So as you can see where my finger is there, normally the line would fit. The thing is, all the years with the paint and just overall bending and warping, it was misshaped. So I actually had to take off the door, as you can see there, and actually rubbed again. So when we walk in, there's my computer, whatever, but when we walk in, I have all the machines here. So again, I put them all kind of like a little mini arcade in here. So again, there's Pac-Man, Double Dragon, Street Fighter 2 Champion, and of course the video of the day, or the video of this segment, is Mortal Kombat. Of course, the lines that you're seeing in the monitor, that's not what would really show in real life. That's just, I guess, the feedback on the camera. So I'm going to set up the tripod. We're going to get started to part 1, the pickup. I know this was a big requested video. People couldn't wait. And then I'll talk quickly of what I did for the actual arcade itself, what else I've done, to protect the actual arcade. So let's set this up, and let's talk about Mortal Kombat. All right, we're back. So like I said, in this video, it's going to be Mortal Kombat Arcade part 1, the pickup. Like the rest of my videos, it's the same segments every time. So let's get to it now. I do have my cheat sheet. I want to make sure I don't miss anything, because I always write down ideas just so I get the full scope of things, because I am getting some questions even after my videos that I'm answering here and there. I'm going to cover as much as I can if I remember everything. If there's anything that I may have missed, that of course you always want to ask me, more than happy to help and explain. So let's jump right in. So I have my cheat sheet there ready. Actually, I'll put it here. And let's roll. So here's how it began. I have Miss Pac-Man in the apartment. It's a casual game. Everyone plays it here and there. I have Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. It's a competitive game. It's my favorite series of all time. I'm satisfied. Until my brain starts to think, I have Miss Pac-Man. I have Mortal Kombat. What else is out there? Because I was done. I promised my wife. Okay, Mary, I promise we're good. She said, if you want to get more when we get a house and we have kids, fair. Right now we don't have the room, and really we want to save money for future children and a home. And my guy, cool. Pinky swore. Well, one night she's late again coming from work. Make yourself dinner, she says. My brain starts to think, what other games are out there? This is around November-ish, the same year, so in 2012. And she's like, I'm going to be home late, do whatever you got to do. I'm a little bored. My mind starts to wander. I'm online. I ate. I go on our local, site to see what's going on. There's this Mortal Kombat behind me, and there's a couple of good pictures of it. So the Mortal Kombat was for sale. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe it's for sale. And I look at the price and it's $8.50. And I'm like, nope. Money-wise, I could afford it, but did I want to save for bigger priorities in life? Yes. I left it. I checked it out. It was original. And I'm going to do the cabinet next video. The serial number was there. It showed all the pictures in and out. It was clean. The side art was nice. And I'm like, yo, it'd be sick if I had Mortal Kombat 2. That was another huge influential game. We're fighting games. My whole family was built on them. And we ran on them. And, wouldn't it be a sick thing to just have Mortal Kombat, especially next to Street Fighter, because they're so competitive. Usually you're on the Mortal Kombat boat or the Street Fighter boat. I'm both. Though I like Street Fighter overall better, I do love Mortal Kombat as well. But I left it for the time being. I'm like, I left it in my head. I'm like, $8.50. I remember this is Canadian funds. This is when the dollar was par with American money. So I'm like, you know what? It's what people are saying it's online. It's a little too much. Even though it looks sick, the guy said he recapped the monitor. He sounded intelligent. I started to read what recap meant and study arcade machines to know them better, because I didn't want to get ripped off or whatever else. So I left it. 2 weeks go by. It's still in my head. Damn it, it's still in my head. It's the end of November of 2012. I already have 2. My wife's like, look, man, don't even look at them. I go online one night, my wife's sleeping. Well, price goes down to $8. $50 less. I said, it's still too much. Mid-December. Mid-December comes. I'm checking it out. $7.50. So within 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks, about a month, there's not too many views on it. And near Christmas, and you're thinking maybe there's bigger hits, because it's, maybe someone can get it for a Christmas gift. Well, maybe it's a different and a unique, gift, so no one hit on it. Not too many views on the page. I'm thinking, there's not much attention on this. I left it again. Christmas is around the corner. Gifts, whatever. I left it. In the early new year, this is early 2013. Early, the first week, it's mid-January, a little past mid-January now. It was first week after. People are broke. They have no money. It drops to $700. And I'm like, uh-oh, wait a minute. This guy seems like he's wanting to get rid of it. I messaged him for fun. And I asked him, hey, the game looks okay. Does it work? Because it looked like it was in a garage. He said, and I'm like, does it work? He says, yes, of course. Call me if you're interested. Because I was going back and forth. What's the version of the PCB? He goes, just call me. So I called the guy. He's a nice guy. And he said to me, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. Do you know a lot about arcades? I'm like, no, I already have 2, though. And I was real with him. And he says, I'm a collector. He had a Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting in a Z-Back. He had a Galaga. He had a Operation Wolf. And he had, I can't remember, another racing game. Not pole position, but maybe Outrun or something like that. And he goes, look, I have a few arcades. He collects a lot of the old consoles. He goes, I can't afford them because he just knocked up his wife. His wife was pregnant. And he goes, I need money. Kid's 6 months on the way. We want to get rid of this. We need more room for the crib. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, look, man, 700s. To me, I'm thinking that's a decent price. And if he's saying what it is. And he goes, look, I'll give it to you for $650. And I'm like, no, and he goes, I'll give it to you for $650. And he goes, pick it up this week. And I'm like, $650 is too much. He goes, final offer, or I'm going to keep it, or just leave it in the garage. $625 and it's yours. Can you pick it up and just pick it up today, this week, yes or no? I'm like, yes. I didn't tell my wife yet. I felt like an asshole. I'm like, yes, done. It was a Thursday. I had to pick it up then, I think the Sunday. The problem is I didn't have a truck again. I call my dad quick. I'm like, look, my dad's a painter. And I'm like, can I remove your paint stuff, your equipment or whatever from the back and pull the seats out? He has a minivan. And he's like, Stevie, what are you doing this time? Remember, old school Greek. They don't like this stuff. He goes, you're too grown up. Why are you getting another one? Parents are shitting on me. My mom's yelling at me. You're a grown man. I start going off. It's a good deal. They don't know what the hell that means. I'm like, look, I'm taking your van, whether you like it or not. I'm your only, I don't care what you're saying. I just, give me your van or I'm stealing it, one or the other. Take the shit out. I'm not going to hear it. I take it out of the van. My dad's yelling at me still. But I left the seats, the 2 seats back. So there's 2 seats. And my dad's like, look, they don't come out. I'm like, yes, they did. He goes, no, it's a cold winter in Toronto. I'm like, I'll deal with it when I get there. I wanted to get it in case someone rebid for it and said, yo, look, man, you're too late. I call my brother. Takes 2 bong hits. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He goes, wait, man, what the hell? You caught me off guard. He's in his pajamas. Out of it. In his slippers. He puts on a coat. He's like, yo, where are we going? I'm out of it, man. And I'm like, just get in the fucking car. I was losing it. Driving 100 kilometers. I was going to kill someone. I was driving. It was snowing. It was brutal. Let me make sure. So we get to this dude's house. It's in a garage. So it's in a garage. It's cold as hell. I can't see it. It's dark, and it's snowing. It's freezing as shit. And you know, my brother's in his pajamas. He's high as hell. He doesn't know what's going on. I'm laughing. He's laughing. Everyone's laughing. And we open the garage, and it's behind a bunch of like lawnmowers and shit. And I'm frantic. I'm like, look, I want to see the quality, but I don't want to plug it in. He goes, look, you can't be plugging it in. It's cold. You don't want anything to go wrong if the monitor shorts. And I'm like, I'm buying this blind. And he goes, trust me, you see my pictures. I'm like, okay, but I'm a little worried. And he goes, believe me, if it doesn't work, you know, come back and I'll help you fix it. And I took his word. He goes, if you need help, there's a couple of videos online. You can go to a website, you know, you can go to KLOV, which I never knew what KLOV was. Now, of course I do. Of course I'm on KLOV as well now. So he goes, if you need any help, the manual, it's there. We load it in. So we tilt it, and he goes, and the guy goes to me. And he goes, Steve, it's not going to fit. And I'm like, oh my God. And he goes, it's not going to fit. We're cold. And I'm frantic. So we tilted it. We open the back. We tilt it. And we're trying to push it in. And it's going. But the problem is those chairs that my dad says that don't move, they're there. So I'm like, oh my God. And he goes, and the guy told me, he goes, Steve, they come out. I don't know what your dad's saying. Maybe he didn't know how to put them back. We're trying to find the lever. It's freezing. Our hands are cold. The guy's pissed off. His wife is yelling at us. I'm like, fuck, wait, man, wait. So and I told my brother, look, because I speak to my brother in Greek, and I'm like, listen, ram the fucker in. I was getting so pissed off. Ram it in. If a little wood breaks, no problem. If it scratches, it's not a big deal. I just want it, and let's get out of here. We push it in. The control panel, shit. The control panel, let me just dive. The control panel is not fitting. So I'm this much off. I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to do? So my brother and I just pushing it right in. It starts to push on this side here and this side. The wood you can hear, because remember it was cold. The wood starts to, you can hear it cracking, and I'm gonna cry. I'm like, no, oh my God, what happened? So, and I'm like, what the hell's gonna happen? I don't want this thing to break. What am I gonna do? I don't know how to fix them. So I'm like, forget it. We push it in. We're like, whatever. This ends up cracking. The guy's like, look, unplug the PCB, unplug whatever. I didn't know what that meant. So it's cracked. I'm already upset. I'm like, what am I gonna do? This thing was mint. Not mint, but it was so perfect. Now I broke it. I was so upset. My brother's like, just let's get out of here. We put, the top was down. We had it tight because they didn't close all the way because those damn seats are in the way. So we unplugged the PCB, the control panel, the kick harness, and he's like, unplug it. You'll figure out how to do it. Don't worry. So it fit, but now it was cracked. I was so pissed off. I'm driving home. I didn't know what to think. Is it broken? And I told my brother, you got to come with me to the apartment. And George was like, come on, man, I got to get to work. You know, come on, man. Like, I'm not dressed. I feel embarrassed. I'm like, whatever. So we get to the apartment. I call my wife. I'm like, come downstairs immediately. Now, I'm in an apartment, so I don't want a lot of activity. I don't want people thinking that I have all these games, because they think it's thousands and thousands, so I must have big money. It's not true. And you knowing in the hobby, it's not necessarily that true. Well, so I ended up settling, I forgot to tell you, I ended up settling with the guy at $625. because I told him, that's all I have, sorry, that's it. And he goes, you know what, just take it. $6.25 cash. My dad lent me his van, and I gave my dad the car because I had to get there. My dad had to go run errands. My dad actually filled my gas because I was low on gas. I'm bad at that. $45 to fill my tank. He goes, it's on me, you're nuts. So really, all in all, the pickup was $580 because I would have filled my gas anyways. My dad said, just take the gas, he had a gas card. So, $6.25 for the pickup. My dad paid $45 for my gas, which equals $580. And I'm like, you know what, I'm like, wow, what a good deal, because, you know, online I'm seeing these things, even in the US, where there's more stock or whatever, goes for $8, I could be wrong, but I've seen, like, for a decent one, $800, with a side or whatever. We're downstairs at the apartment. I call my wife, get a blanket so no one sees what we're hauling upstairs. You have to understand, these things are heavy as shit. I thought it wasn't as heavy as Street Fighter, but it is. The good thing is, it has wheels. So, we take it out of the van. My brother goes to park it. We're in the main lobby. It's 8:39 at night. A lot of activity. People are getting home from work and whatever. And I cover this thing with a blanket and tie it off with rope. I mean, you could still, if you knew what it was, you can still see it. But again, a lot of new immigrants to to the country. I don't think they really comprehend what that went or what it was and what was happening. But I covered it and I wrapped it as much as I can, and everybody's wondering, everybody's looking. And I'm getting frantic because I don't want these people thinking that, hey, what's this guy's hauling? I cover it. There was dolly kind of wheels. There was not only the wheels on the game that are built into the midway cabinet, but the guy had easy to move wheels, like wheels on them, 3 of them. When I was pushing them, it got snagged on one of the tiles because our building, now it's renovated, was uneven. It broke, so it buckled. So we had to actually tilt the thing, wait for the elevator. We only had 2 elevators, of course, because one dude was moving out. It's the beginning of the year. So the one guy was moving out, 2 elevators, maybe 15 people waiting. Everyone's looking at me, speaking different languages, and I'm telling my wife in Greek, and I'm like, just pretending whatever. And there's little kids downstairs, so the little kids with their parents. Kids are 5, 6, so they're asking me, what is that? They go, what is that? What is that? And I'm like, oh, it's just furniture. I don't think the kids are stupid. So they're like, no. And I'm like, no, it's furniture with a cartoon on it. I was trying to make up some bullshit story. I don't know if they knew what it was, but I was trying to cover the monitor part because all you can see is the actual side art. So I just told them it was a kid's bed. I lied. And I'm like, no, it's just a kid's bed, but it's for like a little, like around your age. Like, those race car beds? I was trying to convince them it was one of those. So I was telling the kid, I'm like, no, they're beds. The parents are asking, what are they looking? And then the thing is, they were there before me. So everyone gets in the elevator. I can't get in. This thing's huge. I have to have, my brother went to park the car. My wife and I are there. The wheels broke off. I'm thinking that the thing's broken. My brother has the PCB. Did any of the parts fall out? I'm going crazy. I'm yelling at my wife. She's yelling at me saying, why did I get into this? She's shitting on me. They're shitting on me because I'm holding up the elevator. I'm fucking losing it. My Greek temper's coming out. I'm losing it. I'm telling people to fuck off. I was going crazy. My wife's like, I can't have this, Steve. Oh my God, what are you doing? People are looking at us. These are our neighbors. And I'm just telling them, because please let me in and let this get upstairs. I'm on the top floor. Everybody moves to the side. I get it in, push it to the side. The way I angled it, it was squealing and it was scratching the floor. Because remember, the wheels fell off. It's scratching the bottom of the elevator. One of the maintenance guys is like, you're ruining the elevator. You're scratching everything. We don't have to charge you. Now I'm losing it. I'm like, how dare you have been here for so many years? These other assholes scrape everything. You don't say shit. I was going crazy. He's like, you got to relax, sir. You got to relax. I'm like, leave me alone. Let me go upstairs and put this in. I'm like, I just said it's not for me. I'm doing a favor. I get to the upstairs. I get to the apartment. We open the damn door. It gets in barely. It's scratched. It doesn't scratch, but it's touching the sides. Nothing scratched. We get in the main family room. Everything's good. Where's my brother with the PCB? Excuse me, the CPU, this control panel. My dumb shit brother leaves it in the car. I go back down. I had to pick it up. I'm yelling at him now. He's like, I can't take this. It's not fair. He's half in the bag. He's like, yo, what's going on? And I'm like, would you get upstairs? Yelling at him. My wife's yelling at me. I'm going to go to bed. I hate you. Yeah. So by the time I plugged in the, so okay, my brother takes off, excuse me, my brother said, let's go back home. My dad's like, I need the car tomorrow, I gotta get to work, the paint's gonna freeze, it's in the garage, we have to put it back in, everyone's yelling at me and I'm losing it. And my wife from that day said, I'm never going to help you with arcades again. I love you, but not right now. That's it. That's it. That's it. I go back home. My dad filled my gas. Very nice of him. So, yeah, I covered everything. My wife's in the car, or my wife's home. I get upstairs. My wife wants to go to bed. Again, I think it was a Sunday, so we had to work the next morning. But I don't want to work. I want to work on this. It's around, by the time I ran 9:10ish, I'm trying to plug in the actual, I wanted to check the damage. I'm like, let's check the damage on the CPO, like this part here. This was bent, cracked inside, screw was missing, kid harness was dangling. I didn't know where it plugged in, because the guy that did it, and I'll show you the cabinet in the next video, I didn't know where it plugged in. I'm new to the hobby. I'm like, oh my God, I go on the internet. People are going online, but it doesn't plug in. I can't find videos. I'm going with the manuals. I go on KLOV, I get the manual. I'm looking at forums. I don't have access. I'm asking people online. No one responds. I know now it's easy. But when you don't know, and you're frantic, man, and you got everyone in the world hating you, and you don't know other people, did they follow me? Did they want to see what it was? You know, 20 things are going on in my head. Does it work? God damn it. It doesn't even work. I never plugged it in. Then do I have to call this guy? Is he going to like not pick up? Shit. So there's so much racing in my mind. My wife's saying I'm going to bed early just because she couldn't take it. And then I showered because I was sweating. I'm like, okay, let's plug this bastard in. Let's just chill. I'm on the forums and like, look, if it was cold, don't plug it in. Give it 24 hours. Let it adjust to the temperature because you don't want nothing exploding. So I open the back. I open the corn door. Let it air out. I'm like, for me not to touch this is like a kid on Christmas opening his favorite gift and saying you can't do shit for 24 hours. And it's looking right at me. And I don't know if it works. And it's in pieces. I couldn't sleep. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off. I'm upset. I'm anxious. I gotta go to work. The whole day I'm talking to customers and I'm doing my job. I'm not even thinking what I'm saying. As soon as I get out, I drive the hell home. Like, I don't know where my brain was. Oh my God, oh my God. I get home. My wife's like, I'm going to be an hour late. Do whatever you're going to do. Oh my God, perfect. Plug in the PCB. Plug in the kick harness. Plug in everything. There's sound, but there's no picture. Now I'm losing it. I'm plugging it in. Now there's picture, but there's no sound. Then something doesn't work. Then I heard some zzzz. Then I'm scared I blew something up. Then something smelled weird. Then my wife came home. Then she's yelling at me more. Then I got a gun. I was losing it. I was losing it. It's the most stressful shit. I took it one step at a time. I tried every plug in the damn jam in the harness. Finally, I got it to work. It now works. But now this is broken. Now I had to put this together. So now I taped off where everything plugs in. I know it works. I left it on. I left it running. I've had to glue and screw in 2 pieces now. It's okay. You know, the wood kind of split perfectly. If it's like this, like that, glued it together, beautiful. I screwed it, everything's good. Maybe a 98% job. So everything's working, still okay. I got lucky. Turn on the game, play it a little. I look at the marquee. And I'm like, what the hell is this shit? My wife's like, oh, isn't that Mortal Kombat? It's spooky. It's like, it's spider webs. I'm like, Mary, you dumb shit. That's cracks in the marquee. So the marquee, this is original, he told me. This marquee has to be replaced. I mean, you're looking at me saying, Steve, you're an asshole. I have to replace this. Now, because again, I'm going to do an actual video maybe once I wrap these all up to what I want to do to each game to kind of make them perfect. But again, until I get a house, they're in the apartment, they're not in their final resting place or setting. So I'm going to leave it for now. And then I'll review the next video about the cabinet. So, with that being said, so let's take a further, let me see how good it looks out of there. Yeah. So that was pretty much the pickup. Probably a little more exaggerated than a pickup should be. But again, when the unknown seeks in, and you have people yelling at you, and you don't know or trust, because it's one of these hobbies where it's, you meet the nicest guy or a total asshole. And he seemed like a nice guy, but he ended up being very cool. And it ended up working. I plugged it in, I left it in, I played around with it, I kind of wiped it down, and you're going to see a lot of this on the actual, in the next video, which is the cabinet, which I can't wait to show you. So I plugged it in, the next day everything was good. I told my wife to leave, she went to the gym, gave me a few hours. Everything was good, I glued it back together, it's set, and it's the way that I picked it up. And you know, I turned it on for an hour, turned it back on, let it chill out, and so far so good. So that was pretty much the pickup. Oh, and then the best part. So my wife's like, everything's good, it works, no questions, right? So my wife's like, so when the hell did you decide to get this without telling me? So for 3 weeks, explaining to her why we don't have, because this takes up more room than Street Fighter. I mean, you can tell it's like a foot more. So it's weird in the apartment. She's like, look how big this thing is. My friends are going crazy. I'm going crazy. I'm, total, frantic. I'm like, oh my God, wow. I'm really going on, like, off about it. I'm excited. People are like, oh my God, when am I going to come play? But yeah, I explained to her, look, it's my hobby, and, that's going to be that. She's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, that never came to be. So, so that was the pickup. Crazy shit. Again, machine was $625 Canadian dollars. My dad put gas in, $45, $580. It works. A few things I may have to change later on, like the marquee. But again, not a big deal. And in the next video, which is part 2, the cabinet, which again, I always love doing the cabinets myself. I'm going to show you everything, the serial numbers, how they match up, because remember, I went in blind. I couldn't see nothing. I was cold. My brother was out of it, and my wife is good. Anyways, so that was the pickup. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was definitely one of the crazier pickups. No, I would say it was definitely the craziest pickup out of all of them. Actually, no, what am I thinking? No. Street Fighter cabinet was something else, but I'm going to do that in the months to come. But damn, that one was nuts. I can't wait to tell you about that one. But the Mortal Kombat, that was the pickup, guys. That was part 1 of the Mortal Kombat Arcade. I'm going to be doing the pickup, the game review, the memories, and then the gameplay like my others. If you haven't subscribed, please do so now. I have a lot more coming. Like I said, every week I'm releasing videos, future pickups, a couple projects on the go, some other that might be a big surprise to me. Don't tell my wife. And that's pretty much it. So if you haven't subscribed, please do now. Like the video, do it if you want. Dislike if you honestly dislike it, and leave comments. Email me if you like, and check me out on all the other type of outlets. So with that, it's been a pleasure yet again. Welcome to the top tier. And again, this is just the beginning of this series. We're going to be taking a look at the full machine. All the best, and thanks again. Peace.